What's up, boys and girls, and welcome back to another edition of Let It Rip Sports Show. It's playoff time, and I'm going to do a preview of all the playoff games. So, the first game I'm going to start with is the rivalry game in the AFC North, Pittsburgh versus the Bengals, and it's gonna. Honestly, I think this game is gonna be real close. And then at the end of the video, I'll predict who's going to win in my personal opinion. So, without further ado, let's get to this whole analysis situation here. For the Steelers, obviously we know Big Ben, big play waiting to happen. He's a beast. He's hard to bring down. He can extend plays with his legs, and I feel he's gonna have to do a lot of that, especially going against this stout Bengals defense. Kudos to that coaching staff for building a legit defense. In my personal opinion, I think they're in the top four for top defenses in the entire league. He's gonna have a big game. That's Ben Roethlisberger. Another guy, Antonio Brown, excuse me. We already know what he brings to the table, so he's gonna have to have a good game. But who I really feel has to have a good game is Martavis Bryant. He has to be the guy to alleviate some of the pressure that Antonio Brown's going to receive, because they're not going to allow Antonio Brown to go off like he's been going off in the regular season. And we all know the old adage, what you do in the regular season that's cute, that's fine. But once we get to the playoffs, he's going to be getting doubled a lot. And I'm speaking of Antonio Brown. So you have to make them pay. The Steelers do, with featuring, I think, Martavis Bryant, who's a big play waiting to happen. He has a little inconsistencies with drops this year, but he is a big play. He can make things happen. Marcus Wheaton is another guy who I feel that should be the third receiver, who he should be able to exploit the third and fourth cornerbacks for the Bengals. Now, a huge blow for the Steelers is D'Angelo Williams is out with a foot injury, and that's huge because he has stepped in admirably for Le'Veon Bell, who's also out for the year with the knee injury. So that's a huge blow. The running game, you can't just pass the ball left and right, especially against this defense of the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's going to be a huge blow. A huge blow for them to overcome. One way you can mitigate the loss of D'Angelo Williams is Heath Miller. He's a very underrated tight end in my personal opinion. Everybody talks about Gronkowski, Tyler Eifert, and so forth and so on. But when it comes to Heath Miller, he's always a guy who can get you that first down when it's 3rd and 3 or when it's 3rd and 5. And he has to, I think honestly, he has to have the most important game, because you can kind of mitigate the loss of a run game with a tight end who can kind of move the chains on those third downs. And that's what Heath Miller has made a career doing, is actually getting those 3rd and 3s, those 3rd and 5s, or what have you. So he has to have the most important game outside of Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant, excuse me. Another thing, the defense has to play well for the Steelers. They were much maligned in the beginning part of the year, but they've come along. They've come along. Now they're not the same Steelers like in years previous when they had Troy Polamalu and company, but they have been pretty good. So they have to have a good game against the Bengals offense, and that's a good segue for what the Bengals have to do against the Steelers. Andy Dalton's been ruled out, and I don't know about what you guys think, but I'm actually kind of a believer in AJ McCarron. I think I liked what he said when he said, you know what, Tom Brady was in the same exact position, and look where his career took off. And a lot of people thought he was just crazy, like, you're not Tom Brady, but most people didn't say that when Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe. So I like his quiet, his outward confidence in his skill set. I know he had a good couple of games, and then I know he kind of struggled when they started playing zone as opposed to man-to-man. So that's one kind of knock. He's forcing the read defense, but I think he can overcome that with the right preparation. Obviously, Hugh Jackson, who's a great offensive coordinator, he'll get him prepared, but he has to be solid. And when I say solid, and I hate to say this because it's such a, I feel that this term has become more pejorative in the recent years, but he has to be steady. And most people are going to say, oh, that's just a euphemism for being a game manager. But a game manager doesn't really in my personal opinion, isn't that bad of a thing. You have to manage the game. You have to pick your spots. So AJ McCarron, he has to be steady, limit the turnovers, and take what the defense gives you. Try to make a play here and there, but don't be an out-and-out gunslinger. That's my thoughts on AJ McCarron. As far as the running game, if I were the Bengals, I would feature Giovanni Bernard, because I feel no slight to Jeremy Hill, but I feel that the Bengals are more of an explosive offense with Giovanni Bernard in the game. I feel he's more decisive in his runs. I feel that he has more big plays. So I would feature him as a lead back, but I would also supplement him. I would also let Jeremy Hill get his carries. I would give him like maybe the 8 to 10 range carries, just to give a change of pace. But I would feature Giovanni Bernard, explosive back, I think, and the offense is more unpredictable when he's in the game. Also, just like with Antonio Brown, we know what AJ Green gives us. So who do you have to step up? Mohamed Sanu, and you have to have the other receiver. I can't remember his name right now. I forgot his name. I feel terrible about that. But the three wide receivers have to have a good game, and I feel that Hugh Jackson has to have his best play calling of the season, because he's very good at being creative with the receivers, and he should have a creative package for attacking that Steelers defense. Confuse them with trick plays, bunch formations. Allow the defense to actually think, because the old adage for any sport, when you start thinking, you stink. So that's how I would attack the Steelers. Combination routes, bunch formations, trick plays. Just keep them on their heels. Keep them thinking. And when you think, you stink. So that's how I would attack the Steelers defense. Featuring Giovanni Bernard, AJ McCarron has to be solid. AJ Green has to go to work. Mohamed Sanu and company have to do what they do. And as far as the defense for the Cincinnati Bengals, you have to make sure you punish Ben Roethlisberger. Just punish him, because I know get him hits. You may not get him down, but just make sure he feels every hit, because in the third and fourth quarter, he will wear down. He's human just like the rest of us. Plus, he's over the age of 30, so he's going to feel those hits a lot more than he did when he was 26 years old. Don't let Antonio Brown get off. Allow Martavis Bryant and Marcus Wheaton beat you, because if Antonio Brown gets off, then that sets off everybody else for going to work. So those are my keys for the Steelers, for the Bengals defense. As far as the Steelers defense, you've been playing pretty good ball for the latter half of the season. I would force AJ McCarron to beat you. Don't let Giovanni Bernard beat you. Let AJ McCarron prove. Let's see if he's a real NFL quarterback. Prove he can beat you. Allow him to read those defenses. Throw complex coverages at him. Throw blitz packages at him. Allow this man to start thinking and see if he can beat you. And if he beats you, okay, let him beat you. But don't allow Giovanni Bernard and AJ Green to go to work. Allow AJ McCarron to beat you and apply pressure, because any quarterback in this league, if you pressure them, they get hit enough, they start hearing footsteps and they start rushing throws, and accuracy goes all the way down. So that's my analysis for each team. Who do I think is going to win? Call me crazy, but I think the Bengals are going to pull this out. I think AJ McCarron is going to be fully prepared by Hugh Jackson and company, and I feel that this team is just more complete as opposed to the Steelers, who don't have D'Angelo Williams. The offensive line for the Steelers is so-so. So I give the edge to the Bengals pulling this out. But one thing to keep in mind is the rivalry game. Vontaze Burfict came out and said, I hate the Steelers, and the Steelers don't like the Bengals. So one thing to keep in mind is to keep your emotions in check for 4 quarters, because you don't want a situation where you're letting your emotions get the best of you and it costs you a game and it costs you your season, basically. So that's my analysis. Tell me what you think. Tell me if somebody else is going to step up and be the X factor. Don't forget to leave comments and or suggestions. And please, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Let It Rip Sports Show.